I mean, I've beaten the drum on my channel multiple times to anyone that'll listen or normies that if this were really about your health, first of all, we know this is not good to put on your face because you're breathing in all the garbage you were trying to expel. And second, they say when it's sunny, they told us to stay inside. It was too dangerous. And now that it's cold and rainy and snowy, they say stay outside because it's too dangerous inside. It's the exact opposite teachings of my mom. And the fact that it's not about health. If it were, like you say, where are they saying? Make sure you get plenty of exercise. Make sure you're getting vitamin C, vitamin D, get oranges. No, none of that's ever come across these televisions. And in fact, the only thing you see is, don't forget, you can order anything to your door, Domino's constantly and KFC and alcohol. And, let's just hang out and everything's cool. And it's complete opposite of what you should do to get healthy. And the fact that like they pretend our immune system doesn't even exist anymore. Because if you're going to completely sanitize yourself and not go anywhere and keep your distance then you take all that off, you step outside, you probably catch everything, it's because you're not being exposed to it. You're in a sterile environment. That's what they want. I know everyone listening knows that, but it's like, that when you said this morning, when you started off, you said you're a little bit down. It's frustrating. It's so damn frustrating because there's really so many people that hear this. And we think that we used to think I did. If we did this enough, people would throw down their masks like in every Hollywood movie. Like, yes, no, it doesn't happen. Even one of my favorite movies, They Live. We were just talking about that this morning. And in all these shows, and like we watched Man in a High Castle. I'd never seen it before. I thought, oh, cool. And now I think it's a documentary. The Nazis won. And but in that movie, and then also in They Live, like one event, and They Live, they break the antenna, and you can see the aliens that are controlling you. And then what? Right? That just means, okay, they don't have to hide anymore, kind of like what's going on now, but they still control you. Like, how does that movie suddenly everything's great because now we can see them? No, they still have all the guns and the militia. And what's changed? They can just see them, And then the High Castle. I don't know if anyone's watched it. Spoiler alert. Plug your ears for a second. There's this one main dude, and they take him out, and when he's done, everything changes. Like what? Like, I'm sorry. Even everything you've ever known about the Nazi or whatever you want to call him. You got one evil dude, and you got a whole bunch of evil dudes below him that are all waiting to try to get to that spot. So if you take out that one evil dude, there's like 50 more that are just waiting in line to jump. They'll fight amongst themselves to get it. So this theory that we're going to create this groundswell where everyone does this, God, I wanted it. I so wanted it. But two things. One, I'm not feeling it's going to happen. It's getting worse. They're doubling and tripling up on those things, and they don't work, and they know it doesn't work. It says so on the damn box. Fauci says it multiple times, whatever. So then if that's not going to happen, then I have to say to myself, because I'm based in God, and this is where I feel we're at. And so every time God rescues his children and people get caught up in the name and the place, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about if you're Jewish or Gentile or Muslim, or it doesn't matter. We're God's children. We came from one place, all of us. We're all different races. There's 12 tribes, and that could be all the differences there. Who cares at that point? My point is this. So every time we get enslaved, we cry out, God, help us. And so he goes, okay. And he does that. And he's like, all right, how are you doing? And then everyone just kind of turns their back and goes about their day. And he's like, dude, what happened? Why'd you just start praying to Baal and Moloch? And I'm the one that did all this for you. And everyone turns their back on him. And then they get enslaved. And they go, oh, God, help us. He's okay. And he does it again. And on and on and on, right? In the Bible, it just was driving me crazy as I was reading Exodus, right? And he finally says, screw you guys. I'm going to make you walk around the desert for 70 years because you don't even deserve the place I was taking you to. I'll let your kids or grandkids have it, or whoever, your next generation have it. And that's what he does. And so those people show up, and guess what happens? They forget God, and here we are. I still think we're enslaved. I think Babylon exists across the entire plane that we get to live in, the prison that we're stuck in. There's God's earth, and then there's the little Truman Show prison that we're in. And within that, I believe that we're all the same children of God, and some of us are from the other side, so they're in here with us too, wheats and tares. And what's going to happen if they turned around and they threw down the mask and said we take it all back, lockdowns, everything's over? What would change? Sure, we'd have our normal life back, but there's still poverty, wars, famine, disease, trafficking. Okay, nothing's changed. What's changed? God literally lifted the veil, and we can see the miserable mess that we've been living in, this putrid mess they stuck us in. So what has to happen? In my mind, it's got to crunch down, as you say, your torus field. It's coming in the middle, and it's pressuring everything, and it's going to make a really fun time, I should say. But at the other side, we come out, and God separates us, wheats and tares. And I think it has to. I don't want it to. I feel it's maybe get worse so it can get better.
Okay, okay. Okay. Well, I love it. I love it. Now,